Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we're going to be drawing Ichigo from Bleach. This actually was a request. I have never seen the anime or read the manga, so I do not know anything about it, unfortunately. So before I try to mispronounce things or assume, I will probably just get straight into drawing him. But before we do start, like usual, I quickly want to mention that I do have a Patreon. I do have a Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. All of these things are always linked down in the description or at the very top of the comments. There you guys can support me either through Patreon. You can actually donate some money to me every month, and you also get, benefits and rewards back to you. And then Instagram, I am constantly posting and I'm very active. I also do have my commissions open. Anything and everything is highly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do, I found a photo on Google Images actually, so I'm just looking off that, and the pose did look really cool, so I wanted to try it out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with a line over here. You want to make it about that long, and it's not exactly straight, it's a little bit tilted, like that. And ever so slightly you want to come down like that. You don't want to be too sharp with it, just barely noticeable. And we're going to finish it by going down a little bit more. And then right here you do want to slightly curve. Of course that will be his chin. And then we're going to come up like this. And right about here, so they even up, you want to come at an angle like that. So that will be his jaw, and it's going to come up right here and meet his ear. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start putting his face shape, or face features in, of course. So I'm actually going to put just a very faint line down the middle. This is optional because I usually don't even do this for the most part. And then one about right here though, because that will be where his ear goes. These will be where the eyes also go. I'm going to put them about right there. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Okay. So as mentioned, we're going to start over here. And I noticed that in this photo he is frowning, so his eyes will be smaller than usual, probably, because whenever you're frowning, they're going to point down. And so make a pretty flat yet, rounded line like that. And then you're going to come down like this. It's going to point like that. And to be honest with you, this is actually a little bit too big. So let me just fix that ever so slightly. It's always good to make changes in the sketching phase. So just do something like that. I know it looks a little bit weird, but it will probably, get better as we go. So I'm gonna put a little shape like that right about there. Okay, and now we are gonna put his eyelid about right here. And I kind of do get off, track, and I go to other things, so I'm gonna just put his eyebrow right here. You basically want to make him frowning, and then you're gonna put a lot of shapes like that, indicating that, his brow is crinkling. And now we're gonna go in with the eye detail. So put a shape like that, nothing special. And then another one right there. Shade that part in. And I'm just gonna go in and shade the rest of the eye. And by the way, that is just a basic, highlight or glare of the eye, nothing special either. And now from there on, I'm just gonna start darkening a few things, making it pop out. And that is all for that one, for the most part. I do see he has a lot of details around his eyes, so this is optional. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Okay, but now before we get off track, we should probably do this eye next. So I'm going to try to do the same thing as we did. And same thing with the eyebrow, although some of this will be hidden by some of his hair, so I'm not going to finish that part right there. You can if you want to, but sometimes I know what to, like, you know, not draw because it will just be covered up anyway. But some people prefer to draw it anyway. Now this eye is actually a little bit different, if I am not mistaken. So it's almost the same thing, although we're actually going to shade the whole eye black. So I know it's not perfect, but just trying to get everything in. Again, same things over here, just put a whole lot of shading and markings everywhere. And now we're gonna come right about there from the corner of his eye. We're gonna bring this part down right where this line is, and that's where his nose will be born. So I'm just gonna make a pretty basic shape like that, and there is a lot of shadow going on over here and over here as well. Okay, so now as I'm re-looking at it, I can see that his face shape is a little bit off. So all I do is I just kind of go in and fix it, kind of like I do when I draw digitally. I just try to reshape the face because, yeah, I can see that this is just a little bit off. And that already looks a little bit better, but still gonna try to refine a few things. Okay, and now I'm gonna start putting his ear back in because now is the time. And then I'm gonna go in, just give it some basic detail. It's mostly black inside anyway. And now the mouth, which he is biting his bandage on his hand. That's why I chose this photo, it looked pretty cool. We're gonna make a shape, something like that. It's gonna be slanted. And basically we're gonna make a shape like that. It's gonna come over here and then you're gonna stop. And that's where you can actually go in, give him some teeth about right here. And that's where the bandage will come right here. So just draw something like this. I'm going to start making sketch markings because I don't want to make it too dark. And now I'm just going to go in and start giving it some detail as I go, nothing special again. And then I'm also going to finish the mouth over here by shading this part in, giving him a bottom lip right there, and just touching up a few other things. It's not the best mouth I've ever made, but it is what it is, so. Now, as I'm going along, I see other things that I missed. There is some blood stains, or maybe just a marking over here. And then another one over here. You can kind of get crazy with it. You can make it do a little bump right there, because it seems like there's like a little marking on his face. Okay, but before we get again off track, we should probably go in and do his hair and then finish the hand and then a few other things. So his hair is kind of tricky, I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me a little bit of Naruto because of all this spiky and pointiness everywhere. So just try to follow along with what I'm doing. I can't really explain it all too well. I'm probably not even gonna do it all that well myself, so all I'm doing is I'm kind of flowing with everything, and I'm just making little markings and strokes like that, which is not even completely perfect anyways. about right here. I'm just guessing. As you can see, I'm not perfect, but I usually guess and it kind of works out to my favor. I'm just gonna start over here, start with light markings, and I will probably have to make a time lapse so that this speeds up. We don't want to spend way too much time on the hair, but try to show some of this so you can see kind of what I'm doing. Okay, so as you can see, mine does not look perfect in the slightest, but for right now, I'm not going to focus too much on that. I'm actually going to start going in and darkening his hair, and that way I can start going in and shading over here and kind of like making a few more things just pop out. So right about now is where I'm going to start going in and doing marks like this. Basically, I just want to make this side of his face dark, giving it that shadow look, like, you know, the light source is coming from over here and he looks, you know, not too happy. If that makes any sort of sense. So you can either follow along or you don't really have to do this part. Okay, but now we should probably go ahead and start finishing up his body because I've left that alone for too long. Let's go over here and start putting his neck into place in his hand. So right about here is where we're going to bring that part down. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what he's wearing, so please forgive me. I'm just going to wing this part. I'm just going to draw what I see in the photo. I don't know if it's a hoodie or what. Okay, and so right about here is where we're going to start putting his hand in, and like I said, he does have a bandage on, so I'm going to start right about here. I'm going to put a shape like that in. You're not going to see his whole fingers, so just basically make it like that because they're bending like that. And then come over here with this one, do the same thing. Not really sure what his thumb is doing over there, but okay, well, as you can clearly see, this is not the best hand I've ever made. I know I didn't explain this part too well, so hopefully you can try to look off this as a reference, or maybe you can make something else up. But I botched that pretty hard. Yeah, so I kind of started really winging it. I know that the rest of his hand has a lot of bandages, so I'm just going to start putting that in. Just going to make markings like that, kind of mix it up too. And I'm going to start darkening a few things, giving it shadow and shading. And then we're pretty much done because I wasn't going to do a full body. As you can see, it's just his upper body. So yeah, I guess you guys can watch me finish up, and I'll probably come back and explain a few things I did, and that will be it. So I've done a few things. I'm still not completely done, but I don't want to spend a whole lot more time on this. My hand is starting to hurt. This was actually my first attempt at drawing him, to be honest with you. I'm looking at it and realizing it's not really the best, but I hope it kind of got the idea down, and hopefully you guys managed to draw something similar, if not better. But yeah, feel free to leave any more suggestions down in the comments. I'm always down for any request. And I'm going to start making more ASMR videos though, so let me know if you're actually interested in that. I'm going to try to set like a date, maybe like for example, like every Wednesday it's ASMR, or every Friday, and then the rest would just be drawing tutorials. But I'm trying to explore a little bit with my channel, and yeah. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this kind of helps, and I will see you guys in my next drawing video.